Hello and welcome back to Downtime Activities, and welcome back to our Force and Destiny campaign with the Gotchchalks, with Matt and Jocelyn. I am also Matt, your DM, GM, or Star Master in this?
Star Master.
Star Master! That's what I am. I want that title. Last we left our two young Force sensitives. They had just returned back to their frozen temporary home from a dark and mysterious world in which they entered into a strange pyramid-shaped temple, possibly a Sith temple, who knows, and kind of faced some inner demons and came out with some new force powers and some new confidence gained. Where we pick back up is as you are walking down the ramp of Zadra's super illegal ship and back towards the frozen lake entrance to the cave system where Master Dagunji is likely awaiting you. Right. Zadra doesn't look like he's going to stick around. He's just dropping you guys off, and then he's jetting. He mentioned something last time about being hot on the trail of a possible needed component to make you guys lightsabers eventually, so he seems to be wanting to get on that as soon as possible.
There we go.
Now, the two of you are on the world, back to this frozen, strange place. God, I missed the horrible nuked Sith world where the weather wasn't freezing.
Where it wasn't cold all the time. Alright, well I guess I'm headed straight for the cave. I can't survive out here, so I'm just gonna start tromping.
Can I pick you up and give you a piggyback ride?
It'll be like a contested strength. Oh wait, I forgot. This is with this.
You gotta have the dice roller.
I gotta get out the dice
Unless
roller.
you want me to get out one of those things that we can use to use normal dice, and then every single one you can swap over.
Oh my god.
My suggestion is buy the Fantasy Flight Games dice, or get a dice roller.
Dice roller.
Don't use one of those other ways because it is labor intensive.
Okay. So we're gonna do a contested athletics, I think would be the...
That makes sense.
It's the same either way for me. So... Or wait, do I have higher... I have higher agility. I'm gonna try to do coordination.
Avoid him.
Is coordination... Coordination is like a... being like... It's like acrobatics kind of thing.
I'll let you use it for this. Sure.
Okay, cool.
This has only in-character story sort of implications, not like... This doesn't affect the grand scheme of things.
So I got 2 success, 2 advantages. And then you're going to do your athletics, which you get this.
I believe 2 yellow, 2 green for her.
1 yellow, but 3 green. But she got 3 success. So it's I try to duck you, but then you snag me and we go take off.
And you walk holding him in your arms.
Now you're a little baby.
Yeah. I'm like...
You're like one of those little dogs that whenever you hold them on their back, they just flail trying to throw themselves to their own death because they don't like being held on their back. Yeah. But she's got a firm grip on you.
That's true. You got me. Alright, well, I guess we're tromping to the cave.
And entering in, you see, much like you've seen many a time before, Master Dagunji sitting crisscross applesauce, looking out over that big open back section of the cave that looks out over the kind of rocky, frozen fields around here.
Alright.
And he, as soon as you guys are walking down, he seems to kind of stiffen up a little, like he's aware of your presence, and he will stand and turn with a warm smile on his face and approach the two of you and say, well, you both have returned and seem well. How did it go?
It was tough. That was tough. But enlightening, for sure.
Scary.
He pats you on the shoulder. He's like, this life will have many challenges, many of them very scary that you'll have to face. But so long as you trust in the Force and your own moral compass, you should end up on the right side of things.
Yeah, moral compass. Yeah.
yeah. And he'll say, I believe you've all earned yourself some rest. Take the day, do what you wish. I will be in the closed-off room doing some meditation of my own. And I will see you all around nightfall.
Sounds good. Real quick. What did I... In the temple, I got a force power, but it's not on my sheet.
So it was an upgrade to the sense power.
Oh!
So now you're able to, commit your force point, basically, to upgrade incoming
commit to
attacks.
I did
Because you can,
that.
like, see the attacks coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Very good.
Very good.
A very good
Very
ability.
handy. Cool. Well, I'm going to, with my new sense power, I'm going to try to sense my wolf friend.
Okay.
Because I've been gone for like X amount of time.
An amount of time that's appropriate to go from...
X planet.
I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say. We'll keep it a mystery.
It's a mystery.
They're pretty close by, so not a ton of time, but enough time. Go ahead and roll me a force die for using your
It's
sense.
only one, or is it two?
Just
Why do you even want to talk to that thing? Huh?
one light side.
You sense his presence up in the cave.
Yeah.
Seems to be resting, asleep at the moment.
Cool.
Seems to be at
Checking
peace, at least.
Checking in, seeing my bud. I might. Well, hang. Is there animal handling in this game? I always forget. I don't think so.
I don't think there's specifically animal handling.
Yeah.
I'd let's just use normal, like, charm and stuff,
Charm.
and then like the
Fair
force will help, probably.
The force will help get in between.
Help sure up your weaknesses there a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's one of those interspecies like boundaries in Star Wars are so low. It's just like you don't worry about it.
We don't worry about that.
Cool. Well, I guess we have like a free day, so I might go do that.
Yeah, it's probably like noonish, maybe a little before. Looking it up recently, technically this planet has 18-hour days.
Oh, man,
Oh.
you could get so much done.
It's less.
Oh wait, I thought you meant
instead
like
of
daylight.
24 hours,
I see. I think you meant
it's
daylight.
shorter days on this
Shorter
planet.
days.
So it's like
Because
9
Star
o'clock.
Wars is so nerdy and so in depth that you can look up the planets and find out how many hours
How
are
many
in a day
hours.
on those planets.
You know, some poor guy who's like in charge of like the lore Bible for Star Wars is like,
You mean the guy who
18.
buys coffee for the guy who is in charge of Lore Bible, and he's like, "Yeah, you pick how many hours
yeah,
each
how
day
many?
is for
They have a dice
these
thing.
300 planets we
Yeah.
came up with."
They wrote an Excel script that just
So just to randomize like a
Yeah.
number between like 12 and 40.
Yeah.
And it was
18 for
random.
18 naked cowboys. ran.
grips. So yeah, I'll head up to the cave. I'm gonna try to chill with the boy.
With Wolf Friend.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna do that because I'm smart.
Just because you don't like Wolf Boy doesn't mean that like I don't have to like him.
I'm gonna go fishing.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna
So
go
the two you Master Dagunji goes and you see kind of like raise his hand and that stone doorway opens. He enters in. It closes behind him, and the two of you head back up to the lake top. You part ways with one of you going to the staying at the lake and the other heading towards that other path. Go ahead and give me a. We'll say at this point you can make it a coordination check because you've gone up and down it enough times that you can try and kind of hardcore parkour your way up.
Okay.
And it's still hard though
Still hard.
to go up that kind of weird pathway.
3 is hard, right?
Yeah.
Okay. One success.
You're able to skip, flip, and jump your way up along that path to the smaller frozen lake level above, where there is the cave that your wolf friend is.
All right. I'll go say hi.
Okay, you kind of walk up to the cave, and look at the bones, and there's like little bones of like animals that's probably hunted and ate around here. But going right up to the cave's opening, you step pretty lightly, and this thing appears to be like you can hear soft, like very shallow, soft breaths inside, like it's asleep.
Okay. I'll just like sit down and like chill out by the mouth of the cave and just see it, like wait for him to wake up. And be
Okay.
Like, okay.
All right,
I don't. You let sleeping dogs lie.
let sleeping dogs lie. Exactly,
Let
especially
sleeping
when they're
murder alien dogs.
murder. Yeah, murder space wolf birds. Let them lie. While you're waiting up there, you are going to go fishing.
I'm gonna go fishing.
So looking down again, you felt like last time you tried to do this, the fish was maybe a little too big, definitely a little too deep into the lake here for you to be able to like really get a hold of it with the force and pull it out. But you've been practicing with that force power. And maybe you've off camera spent some XP and have gotten a little better with that force power.
Maybe.
So let's go ahead and have you. Are you trying to use the force to pull it out?
Yeah, let's try to use the force.
I want you to roll a force die for me to see what you get. Two light side. Hell yeah.
Hard.
And then also
Beautiful
roll me
boy.
a perception check.
A perception check.
So perception will be
What is the...
cunning. So cunning. So you'll have 3 of these. Bop, bop. And then is it just a success or is it a medium or?
It'll be
Threes.
yeah, you have to roll against
roll
it.
against.
It'll be average.
1, 2, 3.
And then 2 of those there. 2 advantage.
You don't exactly notice something, but you notice that, like, how do I word this? You can't make it out very well, but by the kind of position of the sun this time, since it's about midday when you're doing this, you notice, like, a slight glint or reflection just beyond the fish. Like, there's something even deeper down into this lake that the light is catching on and reflecting back towards you. And as you kind of notice it as you pull up and this fish slides through the hole and plops up into the air. Go ahead and give me a coordination. We'll call it an average coordination check to catch it.
So coordination is agility. So that'll be 2 of these boys. Bop, 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 bop. Oh.
1 failure.
So this thing shoots up and you're like it's like a wet bar of soap slipping through your hands, and it flops and kind of hits onto the ice next to the hole and starts flipping and trying to jump its way back towards the hole.
No!
Give me one more of the. Or how do you try and catch it? How do you try and
What do
stop
you do?
I'm gonna flop on it and like wrestle.
Try and jump and wrestle. Go ahead and give me an average athletics
Okay.
to jump on top
So
of this fish and
athletics,
wrestle
So
it.
you'll get 1 of those and 3 of these, and then average. Ooh.
4 successes and 1 triumph.
Okay.
You give it the
So you give him bone saw. He's ready. This thing slips out of your hands, flops, and as it's time for that, you like dive on top of this, give it a big old bear hug, and wrestle it for a second. It kind of wrestles, and then just kind of goes limp. And you successfully fished.
How big is it?
It's big. It's bigger than any of the fish, or like the first couple nights you were here, and he had pulled fish out of there. It's at least as big, if not bigger, than the ones that you've seen Master Dagunji pull out of here. It seems like it's a pretty good size.
Ooh.
It's a healthy boy.
Healthy boy. Oh, I'm gonna bring it back and start cooking.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go back, and I'll make you roll for anything. You just kind of putting a stick through it and roasting it. You know how to gut a fish and stuff. You've learned in your time here, probably helping him prepare it. So you start working on tonight's dinner.
There you go.
Back to you at the mouth of the cave. You kind of sitting there, taking in your surroundings and just kind of sensing and feeling the world move around you. As all of a sudden you kind of the restful, somber energy that you felt from the wolf kind of starts to spark with a little more life as this thing kind of shuffles around and slowly awakens. And then it kind of like eyes kind of blink a couple times opening, and then it kind of like squints down and bares its teeth for a second, and then kind of notices it's you, and then just kind of stands up straight and its teeth go back calm. And it slowly walks up and approaches you.
Okay. I'd like to roll like a charm to try to like pet it.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a charm. Roll me a charm with a force die, but it'll be an easy one because of your previous interaction.
Gotcha. So that'll be presence, and I get a bonus because of my specialize, and then an average and a force die. Ha! Oof. 1 failure, but 2 advantage and 2 light side.
So it's
it's such a complicated.
you have a very strong bond with this creature still, but it's kind of like you're trying to be like, hello friend, and it seems to be still like, hello weak member of my family that I need to protect. Like it just still seems it's treating you like it's like kind of like you go to pet it and it kind of like nudges your hand away and like licks along your face with like. It's kind of gross, too, because it's got this like kind of bony beak mouth, and it opens and like a 3-pronged tongue comes out and like licks along your face.
Chris.
But it seems to still, like, it still likes you and you have a good connection with it, but it
It's
seems
just not
like
a cuddly boy.
it's not wanting you to pet. It's not like, oh, hello, friend. It's like, oh, hello, small member of my
animal.
species or something, like my cub. Hello, how are you doing?
Okay. Well, cool. I'm just chilling. I guess I'll head back when dinner time comes around, but I'm just chilling with the wolf.
And you guys can kind of hang out there, and it'll like, after letting you kind of go, and there's like a small broken off portion of the lake that seems like this thing. And it's kind of like slowly starting to freeze over, but it kind of comes over and like pounds with its 2 paws, and it breaks it again and starts slurping up some water. And there's like a little while where it's just kind of hanging with you there. It leaves for a little bit. It kind of jumps up along the rock edge, comes back down after probably 20-30 minutes. And you can see it has this creature that it's kind of dodo bird-like. Like, it looks like a flightless bird that is very dead in its mouth, and it kind of brings it down and, like, you can see it's got, like, blood kind of along the side of its fur, and maybe it's eaten more than one of these already, and it, like, drops it at you and, like, gestures towards it for you.
But, like, it's okay, you can have it.
Go ahead and give me a, just no force die needed this time.
Okay.
Just a presence, an easy presence check.
Okay. 2 success, 2 advantage.
Okay. And it kind of, like, looks at you for a second and just, like, it seems to be like, okay, this thing, my cub is not hungry right now, this is fine. And it, like, takes the body and brings it into the cave.
Fair enough.
It's not like, gonna try and, like, be like, no, eat.
No.
Eat. You can't have any dessert until you've had at least 3 big bites.
And then it's gonna mama bird it too. It has a beak. It has a beak.
Oh, if only I'd thought of it. You're just be careful giving me ideas like
Oh,
that.
no. Next time I fail this, it's gonna be real bad.
This is gonna get real bad. Real gnarly.
Alright. Well, there
It's
we go.
gonna have its 3 tongues in the mouth.
Gross. I just was like, I'm gonna check up on the dog.
You have a lovely evening with your new adopted wolf mom.
Alright. Well, I'll head back and have dinner with the Gunji and Fluffers. What's your name?
Flopsy.
Flopsy.
Fluffers. Whatever.
Whatever.
And Master Dagunji, before he makes it back from the cave, Master Dagunji walks out of his little, whatever kind of room you'd call that, the room where you reach out to antagonists from. And he looks at you already having this cooking, and is like, "Oh, Flopsy, you've already begun dinner for us. Thank you. Did you pull this one out of the lake?
Yes.
Good work."
I noticed something in the lake as well when I was pulling this guy out, and it's looking a little suspicious.
He kind of smirks at you, and he says, "You know, let's wait for your friend to return, and I'll explain to both of you what waits at the bottom of that lake."
Okay. I'm not gonna question.
It's way too cold for me to go investigate, so that's fine.
And then a little while afterwards, you come back down. There we go. So, you kind of come in there, the food's already ready to go, kind of serve it up on little wooden plates, everyone's eating their fish, and Master Dagunji will say, "Well, Manus, Flopsy, Flopsy earlier today noticed something in the bottom of the lake, and I figured that now is as good a time as any to let you both know that my personal starfighter is at the bottom of that lake, how I got to this planet. It's good for you two to know this, because should worst come to worst, it will be a means of escape from this place." And he's usually very jovial, like very warm and happy and smiling. He's like, he sombers up. Sorry, coffee a little bit today. And he like looks at both of you and he says, if something comes where that is, if I tell you to go to that fighter and get out of here, listen to me and don't look back. I will not say that to you unless I mean it.
Fair enough.
Between the two of you, I think you should be able to pull it from that lake.
Okay.
Teamwork. In a crisis.
He says, and before you go there, come with me a moment. And he kind of picks up his plate and he's sitting crisscross applesauce and has like very smooth, like straight to standing transition from that, and turns and starts walking towards his room. And he kind of brings you back to like a back corner of his room where you can see there's like a tarp or like a cloth over the top of something. And he pulls it off, and underneath you see what looks like an R series astromech. The kind of like, not exactly an R2, D2 looking one, like has kind of a cone shaped head instead of the rounded head.
He's a cone head.
Yes. He says this is R3A1. He also has like gray and kind of like a cyan colored paint job around it. He says he's deactivated here right now to save energy, but should you need to get out of here, he will be very necessary in you successfully doing so. He has a socket he can fit into the fighter to help navigate for you, otherwise you'll be I assume, fairly lost in the stars between the two of you. I don't know what astrogation knowledge the two of you have had in your short lives.
I'm a astrogation professional.
I'm
like-
a slave.
Was.
He's a stubborn pile of bolts, but he knows what he's doing, and he's very helpful and a good, reliable friend. But let's not talk about such things.
This is what you'll do when I inevitably get killed and we need to run from this place. It's like, whoa.
Whoa.
That's a little,
You can also see in this room, in this kind of back corner, that there is what looks like a small communications array set up. Probably how he communicates back and forth with Zadra.
good old Zadra.
The, cool uncle that breaks the law that you want to grow up to be like.
He's got his cool black spaceship. that's
Yeah.
like-
It's like, it's like his black sports car that he shows up to all the family dinners in.
Exactly.
It's like got an illegal engine in it or something. I don't know.
It's just all his windows are like super.
Yeah, super tinted windows. And, yeah.
All right. Well, that's a sobering thought. I'm not drunk, but it's sobering.
But it's sober. I have gone from sober to more sober by that thought.
On to excited that I caught a fish to a little sad.
a little
Little
sad.
The thought of that's a little sad, a little scary.
Degunji's like, it's very possible that I just get murdered.
He's like, if I'm going to, I will tell you to run. Listen. It's basically the vibe you're getting from him.
All right. Well,
He says, well, if you have no further questions for me, I'm going to retire for the evening. There is something important I need the two of you to go and do tomorrow, so get your rest.
can do. Sounds like a good time.
I'm gonna go find my favorite rock, and I'm gonna pick this boy up,
Ooh.
and we're gonna go to bed.
Going to bed.
Going to bed. With your warm friend blanket.
Updating my XP here for a second.
Good. Yeah, off camera, there was XP given, and over the last couple of sessions, and they've kind of both cashed it in, so you might notice a couple little different abilities and stuff that they have now.
We don't need to use our abilities.
No! This is going to be a purely RP session. No combats. Even on this session. Specifically. Anyhow.
Depends if I want to contact the antagonist again.
So, the next morning comes, unless you guys do anything else that evening.
Run away.
I drool on him.
Gross.
You drool on him. It is gross. You wake up with some of that drool half frosted over on you, as per usual, but warm and alive and well. You wake, the Gunji comes out, and he will explain to you guys what he needs of you. Let me say, if you remember last night when I showed you my quarters, you of course saw R3 as well as the communication array setup I have here to keep in contact with Zadra as well as a few others throughout the galaxy. I am afraid that a part has gone out in it. A specific part, small and seemingly innocuous, but very important for the long-range communications that I need this to be able to do. Zadra unfortunately didn't come down here with you, otherwise I'd have him just run and grab a part for me, but now it'll be hard for me to call him and ask him to do so. There is, however, on this planet, a fairly old Republic listening post. Abandoned after a confrontation happened there during the Clone Wars, but I'm sure this part will exist in no short supply there, and I'd need a replacement gathered by the two of you.
Okay. I have computers. I don't think that actually helps. I think it's like another check, like mechanics. But it's fine.
I am very dumb, so I will.
I will help as best I can.
You stop the whatever from eating me, and I'll get the part.
And he'll go back and he brings out a strange-looking component. He says that if you can't find a spare parts room that some of these are in, then you could probably pull it from the main structure of the base itself. He'll describe to you how to get there specifically, and he'll say that there should be no real threats left in this place. It was Republic-owned and then attacked and more or less destroyed by Confederate forces. It's been abandoned since then. I've not gone to it myself since coming here, but it seems incredibly quiet. That being said, there could be old threats still remaining there, security systems, local creatures, so step lightly.
All right. I can step lightly. That's what I'm good at.
I can step heavy when I need to.
There you go.
That's what you're good at. He said, so for that sake, I would recommend taking your blades with you.
Okay.
Just in case.
I'll take my gun, too.
Just in case.
Just in case. And my
I'll pull out my
handcuffs.
gun.
And your handcuffs.
And my handcuffs. Just in case.
Just
Want to
in
get freaky.
And you guys have your heading?
All right. Well, let's head out. Tromping through, I'd say the woods, but it's not the woods. It's the snowfields. Tromping through the snowfields.
Me and my monkey. Monkey doesn't have any pants.
It's true. One of our characters is not wearing pants. I'm going to let you guess which one.
Should be fairly obvious who is mostly naked.
Allegedly. Gosh, Fox, you put on some pants.
Free balling it.
All right.
All right.
And the group, so you guys follow those directions. It's kind
I
of
intentionally don't follow directions.
you get lost in the wilderness and freeze to death. Unless I guess Flopsy hugs you until you guys starve to death. I don't know. The two of
You
you,
would find fishes.
you guys are able to maneuver, and it takes a good portion of the beginning of the day to get to this place. It's kind of tucked away in the mountain range that you're currently in. However, it's a good ways away, and the terrain is fairly tricky getting there. You have the direct route to get there because the Kunji described it to you, so it's not a bunch of checks or anything to get there. It's just a lot of time and effort. Arriving there, you see what looks like a small outpost kind of nestled into a crevice between two large mountains. And it seems to be fairly frozen over and icy, but certainly looking at it, you can see that there is like a kind of radio tower sort of piece at the top, and that there is still like hard to see under the heavy encasing of ice along it, but like a flickering red light, like that there's still power inside the station.
Still works.
Could I use my sense to see if there's any like living things in the area?
Is
that how it works?
Yes, technically, I'm letting you guys cheat with the sensibility as far as like sensing your surroundings, like in a long distance. In this case, you could get like up to it and then do that and have like an idea of nearby if there's any life.
Okay, that's not fair enough.
Yeah.
No, let me cheat.
Let me cheat here too.
Cool. I'll like sneak up to the side and like.
Go and give me a stealth check.
Okay.
Are you staying back or are you going up there with him?
You should stay back.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay back.
Okay.
Until I have to run up and save you.
Right. Well, that's what you're here for.
That's why you're here.
All right, and easy, hard, medium.
This is force. Oh, sorry, the stealth check. Just average.
Okay.
Two rolls.
4 success, 1 triumph.
You are the nod.
All right, and then
Super
just,
sneaky.
Force die, 1 light side.
Okay.
I'm
Moving
not
up,
having to
you're
use
successful
another
at sensing that you don't sense any living things inside of this, at least in the nearby section.
Nothing could go wrong.
You do, however, sense, or you sense with your like eyes, sense you can see that the door, like there's kind of like a bridge across a small chasm, like kind of crevice into the earth where you could fall in. Wouldn't be fun. There's like a metal bridge across it, fairly short, like 15 feet or so. That goes up to like the main door into this facility, and that door has pretty clearly been like blown open with explosives. Doesn't seem like there's no smoke rising from it. It seems like it's been done a while ago, but probably part of that previous battle. And you can see on like the outside of the building like some little scorch marks and stuff. Like battle's taking place here.
Makes sense. Well, let's go check it out, huh?
I'm gonna chop along behind him. I'm not sneaking.
Okay.
I don't care.
Crunch, 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 crunch.
Kicks like a can.
Exactly.
And you're like, Flopsy!
Please. All right. Well, let's we'll scope it out. We'll see what's going on inside.
Okay. You move up to the front door and looking in, you can see that just in front here, there's like kind of frozen over in snow and stuff like right along there, but it quickly kind of melts off and you can feel warmth coming from the inside of the building as you approach. It seems like the life support system and stuff, the building's still functioning.
Can I make a perception to see if there's like tracks or like scratch marks
Go for
or
Yeah.
poop?
It'll be a survival to look for any sort of
Survival.
that kind of stuff.
You mean scat?
Scat.
Scat.
Get
Is
it
there
up.
any bird wolf scat here? It'll be an average survival.
Okay. Cunning. Yeah, just double checking everything. 1 success, 1 advantage.
The success is that you don't see any tracks coming or going, really. And the advantage is that that's a good thing. Right?
Yes.
You don't see, like, there doesn't seem to be... You can see, like, some small bird-like tracks that have...
Like the dodo birds.
Something of note with that, though, because of the success, too, here, you can see that probably some of those little animals have, like, kind of wandered in here, maybe because it's warm, kind of get out of the elements. You don't see any tracks leaving here of those birds.
All right. Let's be careful. I'm gonna try to see where like the tracks kind of go. I'm gonna see if there's like a blind, like any corners, or like I'm gonna try to sneak up and look around corners, basically. Like,
Okay.
Try to solid snake my way through this little facility.
The tracks fade pretty quickly
Okay.
because it's like the tracks are like snow prints and they melt off pretty quickly. It's kind of like right at the opening of this. You see this, some that have frozen over in the doorway. But moving in and along the path that they seem to take, it looks like this front door there's kind of like a probably circular hall that goes around a central building, and going either direction there's doorways along the path. So there's none right in front of you. You have to kind of go with like opening circle that encompasses probably like the central communication hub inside of the middle there.
Gotcha.
And you go along to the right side because that's where these tracks seem to be kind of pointed before they fade away. And going along, are you both moving up there? Are you being stealthy? What's the movement?
I'm gonna have you like kind of wait like at the start of the turn. All right, like if I'm gonna ask you to wait like here, and then I'm gonna go around the corner and like try to like peek through the door kind of thing.
Sounds good.
I am gonna draw my pistol though.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a stealth.
Yeah.
Make it another average stealth check.
Two success, 2 advantage.
So you kind of creep up along, and you get to where you can see the kind of the first doorway along the right side that goes into that central kind of hub location. And going along to it, you can see that in that doorway, there's what looks like a slightly fried corpse of one of those little dodo bird things. And it seems to be somewhat recent. And you're able to kind of sneak up and peer around. And peering into there, you can see what looks like a number of, what you may not know is this, but just so the two of you can picture it, B2 battle droids inside of this place.
Oh no!
You can see it looks like there are 3 of them, kind of standing at different
Battle
posts.
droids.
And one that is like sat down and has like some cords and stuff from like a ripped off panel plugged into the back of it. It seems like it's like recharging or something.
Huh. So B2s, those are like the silver ones, right?
They're like the silver ones, like the kind of broad shouldered, bigger
those
silver ones.
Those are like the big deals.
So it looks like there's
Oh,
3
they're
of
the
them.
big boys,
Yeah,
not
the
the
silver
little.
ones.
Not the ones that like project a shield around them and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but like the silver kind of broad
Not
ones.
the ones with
like the
goofy
head
heads
built
that are
into
like,
their.
Roger. Not
Yeah.
clankers.
They're not regular clankers. But there seems to be 3 of them active inside of here, and one of them that's recharging.
charging.
That seems to be in kind of a semi-inactive state.
Basically, the big difference is they have machine guns on their arms, and we're gonna go the other way. So I'm gonna like once again like try to be real quiet, like work my way back, and go. So there's some bad guys in there. I'm gonna check out the other door, but try to be real quiet. I say quietly. Hopefully the mic picks that up.
It seems like there's kind of this kind of central room, and you can see like there's the circle hall that goes around the outside of it. When you peered in, you could see a door on the opposite side of you. That's probably where that other one leads. And it seems like then they circle around and probably go to another
So
something
we're
beyond
gonna have
it.
to
She'd have to walk
go
across
through-
one of those doorways to get to anywhere further into the facility, which is a fairly small facility as
Right.
well.
Okay. And you said there's 2 of them? And
There's
one charger?
3 of them standing and then 1 charging.
One charger. 4 total.
The charging one, like I said, seems to be semi-inactive. Like it probably, like if you shot one of them, it wouldn't necessarily immediately raise up. It'd probably have to have something done to it to like
Active.
turn it back on.
Yeah.
So
Well-
are they in the way?
Yes. Like, we might be, like, I might be able to creep past them, like, coming from, like, the back, maybe, and, like, creep through, but it'd be really tough, and it'd be super dangerous for me to go by myself. So we probably have to fight them, at least somewhat. Did I notice, can I look at, like, the tracks and see if there's, like, boot tracks, like, battle droid prints, like, going out? Do they, like, leave and, like, go out the front at all?
You
or-
saw none leaving the front door. It
Okay.
seems like these ones are more or less like stationed here.
They just left them. They're just like, good job, team. See ya. It's not worth the jet fuel to come down and get you, so...
It's like maybe they're sitting here like trying to make sure that if they get any encrypted Republic communications, they can transmit them back to HQ. You know, they're
Right.
here
So
on
there
they're
was
here on
some-
assignment.
Right.
The war's going on, don't you know?
Don't you know? Yeah, it's only been a number
It's
of
been like
years.
probably 8 years since the war's been over.
Yeah. The life of droids in Star Wars is really just not good.
Not great.
Like, anyway. But they're not sentient, so it's fine.
It's yeah, exactly, totally fine.
So, yeah, we should probably try to come up with some kind of fight plan. Are there any, like, computer terminals or anything on the outside here that I can see?
Not on this side of the outside. Maybe around. Like if you're probably gonna have to cross the door to see anything other than what I've described so
Are
far.
they just
You
looking
did
at
see
the
also.
computer?
You don't really get a good look at all the technology and stuff, but you saw a number of what looked like clone corpses in there too.
Right.
Like clones who had been shot and killed. Clone troopers and stuff like that. Probably worked in that base.
Okay. Well, the best... So, our 2 options as I see it is we can either try to, like, create a distraction that, like, pulls them out of that room and then we can, like, sneak in behind them. Or we can try to, like, get the jump on them and, like, fight them. Or, like, maybe try to, like, fight them one at a time or something. So, like, if we can, like, get one of them to, like, come out here and then we just, like, both jump them at the same time, and we just do that a couple of times, trying to, like, whittle them down so it's not a 4-on-2.
Oh. Yeah, that's a
That'd
good.
be my thought. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah?
How do we stop them from not all coming out at once, though?
Well, I think if we just, like, make a bit of noise or something, then we can get them, like, they'll send, like, one of them out to patrol, like, go check out what's going on, and then that'll help, like, move the numbers in our favor.
Okay.
Maybe. But...
We could try it.
Or we go back to Gunji and say, hey, there's a bunch of battle droids in there. It's like, we don't... Like, we can be more reasonable here as well if we really want to.
No.
No?
No.
You wanna fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's kick their butts.
I mean, you could go back to Gunji with your tail tucked
Failures,
between
yes.
your legs with a bunch of failures if you wanted to.
It's true.
Look at Daddy.
It's just an
Gunji.
option. You don't listen. It's a
How
something.
dare you be the voice of reason?
It's the classic D&D problem of you don't have to go fight the dragon. Yeah, but we do though.
But like you know, a level 20 wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we want the loot,
Yeah,
so
but
we're fighting the dragon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's see. Like I have like my sword, and so I'm gonna.
Is there any stormtrooper out, like, dead ones in the area that we're hiding out at?
There's no, you don't see any dead clones outside of the door or in that immediate hallway in there.
They're probably like holding that broom. At least
And there's a decent chance too that if there were any that were like outside who died in the scuffle, that they've either been snowed over and disappeared, or like a predator has taken them away and eaten them.
Dang.
Why? What?
I don't know. Throw in one of their outfits.
If you did, that'd be hilarious. Because you'd be like a grown man wearing like a little kid's Star Wars Christmas costume. Like, hello, it's me, Clone Trooper.
That would be a good distraction.
I mean,
Except they'd still just try to
they
kill you.
still just shoot you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's still you are still the natural enemy of a droid at that point.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say, like, let's try and like wait like around kind of the bend, and because it's kind of like entrance and then
Yeah. So it's like it's hard to just go like
Yeah.
doorway, halls that go around like this of a semicircle,
right.
doors that go into the central room, and then the hallway continues around this way to probably some other doors and stuff up there.
Right.
I don't know if that was even on camera. I might put that up above my camera shot there, but you get the idea.
I get the idea. So we should try and you're like more of a close range fighter, and I'm more of a long range fighter right now. So I think what we'll do is have you stand by like the outside door, and I'll stand kind of like around the curve, and we'll like make some noise to try to like get some of them to like come out to us, and then I can be shooting at them, and then you can get in and punch them.
Okay. We could force like
Or sword them.
Or sword them. I mean, you can also sword. I think you're more effective. You're just as effective with your sword as you are with
brass knuckles.
your brass knuckles.
The sword will probably be, maybe you're not going to be as good at using it, but it'll probably do more damage for you right now, because it's got like a base damage level.
Yeah, you also get +1 defense, and you get +2 damage. But she does get +1 damage from the brass knuckles. Brawl. Yeah, it's one less.
I guess technically
But plus
the
2
melee
damage.
weapon, what is the sword? It's like 6, right?
Oh, you mean how much damage it does?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it'll be 2 plus her brawn, which is 4. So, yeah, 6 damage. So, yeah, you'll do more damage, which will probably be better. So, if you use your sword for this one.
Okay.
Just because I don't think you can disorient droids as well. So, like, your brass knuckles aren't really going to be as helpful. So, that's, like, one of the big bonuses. You can disorient people with your brass knuckles. Anywho, yeah, sound like a plan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Flopsy will be posted up on, like, the outside entrance. Or I guess just inside, like, where the wall, she could, like, hide a little bit. Hide is just be out of line of sight. Don't have your elbow sticking out into the hallway.
I'm a big girl.
It's true. And then I'm going to be, like, around the bend a little bit so that once I hear them coming, I can kind of, like, lean out and shoot. Without exposing my whole body. Just my head, the least important part.
Of course.
And then I guess I'll go, like, just get a rock or something.
To throw and make some noise with?
Yeah.
So I'm just really quickly
feel like-
confirming something about ancient sword. So the ancient sword is +2 damage instead of +1 damage. Okay. I'm just making sure that I had that lightsabers are kind of weird and different because they kind of have like some of them are like just the damage, not a plus. So like, it's not your brawn mixed in with
They
it
just
all the
do
time.
flat damage.
Yeah. Plus, it's like just plus the number of successes instead of plus your brawn plus the number of successes. So yeah, the sword would be more damage. Okay,
Okay. Cool. Like a thermal detonator.
So like in the doorway outside, like she's like waiting next to it, holding the sword above her head, and you're like out in the snow a little ways, and you're gonna like.
No, I'm gonna be like where it like curves. I'm gonna be like here, and I'm gonna throw the rock like over here. So like hopefully they come out like this door, and then I can like.
So.
Hang on.
This is the front door.
So yeah, front door, and then like
Two branching
branches, right? So I'm gonna like, Flopsy's like waiting here,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna sit like here,
Okay.
and we're gonna make a noise like here.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Is Flopsy inside the hall or just outside the front door? So, like, if this thing rounds the corner, will it see Flopsy when it rounds the corner? Or will Flopsy be back out in the main door a little
I think
ways?
you want to be like back out the main door a little ways then, so that it comes around the corner and like doesn't see anything, and then I shoot it, and then Flopsy bops him.
Okay.
So because that way you can use like your movement and then your attack, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So this noise kind of clinks in there, and
nothing.
she
happens.
can't hear this, but you can. You hear like a, when was that? Probably another local animal. Check it out. Roger. And you hear like krum, 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 like these heavy footsteps starting to come around the other bend. And this thing's going to kind of come around the corner. I will say that you can have a free shot on it.
Okay.
Because you're sitting there waiting for it, but you're going to see it before she does, so she's not getting any free attacks.
Gotcha.
So get one free shot, and then we'll roll initiative.
Fair enough. I'm going to erase this real quick so I don't look at the back of my page and go, what was that?
What was even that?
Okay, so shooting with my gun. That is a ranged light attack.
And this will be short range.
Short range.
So that's only one difficulty, I believe.
Okay. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then is it regular difficulty or easy?
Yeah, they're easy.
Easy.
Easy for
Okay.
short range.
Bop. Woohoo! 2 success, 4 advantages.
So, what is the damage of your blaster?
Damage for my blaster pistol is 6 damage.
So, plus the 2 successes, that'll be 8 damage.
8 damage.
This thing does have a soak of 6, so it'll only take 2 of that after soak. But that will be...
And then I can
the one
spend
threshold.
those advantages, right?
Just leaves it at that number.
Which I think we have here marked. Equipment. Is this the advantages?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So 4 is a lot. So negate the enemy's defensive bonus. Ignore penalizing environments. Dealing damage. Have the attack disable the opponent one piece of gear rather than dealing wounds. Definitely want to deal wounds. Force the target to drop a melee or ranged weapon he is wielding, but he's a droid, so that doesn't happen.
I mean, if it wasn't integrated into his arm, you could probably make him drop his blaster.
Yeah.
Probably worth just giving yourself a blue, or you could... I think you can spend 2 to give...
Oh, I can spend 2 to give her a blue.
Yeah.
On her next check.
Any allied character's next check.
Yeah.
And I think you could do that... I think you could do that twice, once for you and once for her. Because it's any allied character, so...
Sounds good. But I can also do one to do a negative to him.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'll do a good to her and a negative to him.
Okay. And then I'm going to have both of you guys roll cool for me.
Okay. So
And he will roll a vigilance.
cool. With all my points in that. So clear.
Not bad, not bad.
Okay. And then Jocelyn, what's your vigilance? Or your cool specifically. But... Oh, you actually have a cool. Look at you, Miss Cool.
Look how cool she is.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Okay, so I had 1 success, 1 advantage.
Okay.
Flopsy had 3 success, 1 advantage.
Okay, they had 1 success, 2 advantages.
All right.
So the droids will be going second, right behind Flopsy.
There you go.
Flopsy, this droid is just around the corner from you, but you could, with a maneuver, move up to it this turn,
Okay.
if you'd like to.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up to it.
You charge in, sword in hand. You are now engaged with this creature, with this droid. The engaged range, so you can melee attack.
Oh, can I?
Yes. So
Wow.
the melee attack will be average difficulty.
Okay. And then your melee attack is going to be your brawn and your melee. How many points in melee do you have? 1. Okay, so you go bop, 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 and you also get a blue. You want to do the honors?
Roll.
1 success, 3 advantage.
So what is the damage on your sword?
It is brawn plus 2, so it'll be 6.
Plus the success is
Plus
7. So, again, it does have a soak of 6, so it'll only take 1 damage from that. But you'll come in and the sword will slash across its chassis and do a little damage to it.
Give the chop.
Give him the chop! And then you have 3 advantages. What's the sword's critical rating?
Sword's critical rating is not written down here. Did I write it down? Can I make fun of her? Yes, critical rating of 3.
So
I could have crit with my
With your blaster.
pistol. Oh, that's what I get.
Would you like to crit this thing?
Yeah.
Does
Crit
your...
him. I think it's only unarmed strikes. With the precision
I
strikes.
think it is for one, but not the other. So, the precision strike. With a brawl, melee, or lightsaber weapon.
You get to pick if you spend a strike.
If you'd like to suffer 1 strain, you can choose which critical injury you give him.
Well, I will do that.
So you precisely strike,
Uh-huh.
and let's see. You can increase... the best one right now would probably be to increase the difficulty of his next check by 1. Where you give him a stinger.
A stinger.
A stinger? Okay.
Which is, in a fighting game move, a stinger is also like a lunge or like a pierce attack. And
so you like a dive, pierce, like a parry, thrust to this droid, and it's going to make it harder for him to shoot back at you.
Right in my gun barrel. Basically stick your finger in the gun.
Which is good timing, because then it's his turn, and he's going to try and shoot you. He's using ranged light at short range, which would normally be 1 purple, but since you're engaged, it increases it by 1. Yeah. So, he's going to have... He has 1 range, so he gets this. He will have 2 purple, but because you upgraded the difficulty of his attack, of his next, right? Mm-hmm. That's what you chose, was the upgraded. So that'll be a red and a purple instead, as well as a black setback die from your advantage you spent. So... 2 failures and 2 threats. So you guys have 2... He actually has 2 threats to spend there, and he misses you.
So you can give him a strain. You can make him lose his benefits of prior maneuver, which isn't super handy right now. You can perform 1 free maneuver in response to their check, so you can hit him.
Well, maneuver is not an attack.
Oh, maneuver is not an attack. It's anything but an attack. Or not anything, but anyway. Or you can add a boost to target character's next check, or active character or an allied character suffers a negative, an anti-boost or a disadvantage.
So yeah, basically you can give yourself or Matty G blue, or you could give him a black die. That'd probably be the best bet. One of the 2 of those.
I'm gonna give you a blue die.
Blue die. All right.
And then it is your turn to shoot this thing. You do also, after like blaster fire starts, you do hear some noise coming from inside there, like they're moving around.
It's one of those. The Rock was like a low priority. Blaster fire.
It's like, I heard a blaster. It didn't sound like a droid blaster.
That's weird. That squirrel had a blaster pistol.
That just makes me think of a D&D campaign where there was it an owl calling lightning on people? It was a squirrel.
It was a squirrel. I was a squirrel.
It was a squirrel that you were called lightning as a squirrel, and there was like a wall of you, and there's like a squirrel with his hands raised, and like lightning striking and killing a dude on a castle wall.
What is going on?
Oh god!
Good call lightning. Brutal if they can't find you.
Very brutal. So it'll be on to you. And you'll have a blue to shoot. And I'm assuming you're shooting at this one, because this one is still there.
And so it's still a 2, right?
1 for you. It's short range.
Nice.
Everything in this little area is going to be short range.
All right. That's 1 success, but 6 advantages.
So the 1 success, that's what for the total damage?
7 total.
7 total. So again, it soaks a bunch of that.
But I crit him. Can I multi? I can't multi-crit. It's only crit.
You can only crit once.
So I crit once, but then I have 3 advantage to spend.
Yes. So first, let's do your crit, because since he already has a critical injury, whatever your roll is, will add 10 to it.
Nice. Okay. So
it'll be a percentage dice.
So a D100, 73.
73 plus that will make it 83. He cannot voluntarily suffer strained activity. So he's winded, whatever that means. So he can't suffer strained activities.
Okay.
Unfortunately, not a super relevant one for him, but it is a second injury, so now it's going to be plus 20 on all of those.
Nice.
For future injuries.
Okay, cool.
And then your other 3, how would you like to spend it?
I'll give him another setback die.
Okay. So now his next one will come back around. He'll have another setback die. Sweet.
Cool. And then, do we roll initiative again, or does it stay in initiative?
It's going to stay in that same order, and we'll just move through.
I'll play Joss.
You'll play her for a second. She's going to the restroom, I think. So, her turn. This thing's still next to her.
Right. Whack.
Whack.
I don't know. I didn't need to sit there and see it. My phone's over here. So that is bop. And
so her melee.
1, 2, 3. And then a melee. She doesn't have any boosts. Oh, no. Did I? No. I gave him a setback.
Yep. And then it's still easy difficulty. Or, excuse me, average difficulty. So 2 purple.
Okay. Ha. 4 success, 1 advantage.
So, what's the total damage on that? That's 4 plus her brawn is 4, is 8 plus 2, right?
Plus 2, so 10 total.
Okay, so she has one advantage to spend, but she finishes this thing off. Because that'll be 10 damage minus the 6 soak for 4. So she finishes. She brings down the blade and crushes down, and this droid is deactivated. Permanently.
She'll recover that 1 strain.
Okay.
Just so that way she's back up to full strain.
Sweet. Oh yeah, you can spin those to recover strain, so you could like keep doing the precision.
It's brutal.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess for her maneuver, she'll like just step back again.
Back around the door. Okay, so she'll step back outside of the door,
Yeah.
which is very smart of her because coming out of one out of each of the 2 doors comes 2 B2 battle doors. So you kind of
Each
look
door.
over your shoulder and see one of these things come out, and it's
Yeah.
and it is going to take a shot at you.
All right.
It will be 1 difficulty because it is also short range. It is not as good at shooting as you are, but so it got that 1 rank, that for agility, and it is going against 1 purple, which is a failure and a threat.
All right.
It rolled nothing on any of its good dice, and as bad as it could have on its bad dice. So nice.
It suffers a strain. You bastard.
And so this thing shoots and misses at you, and
Alright.
then it is your turn.
Okay. I will shoot it back.
Okay.
I don't really have a maneuver that I can do, so actually, I guess I could do the aim.
You can aim. You have
Yeah.
your weapon out already,
How
so you can
does-
do the aim.
how does
It
it work?
just you use your maneuver and it adds a blue.
Adds a blue. Okay. So that and then it's still an easy, right?
Still easy.
4 success, 1 advantage. So that is a total of 10.
Total 10. It soaks 6, so it'll take 4.
And
Be at that.
I'll recover. Oh no, I can give a boost to Flopsy. So
Okay.
Flopsy will have a
Flopsy
boost.
have a
on her
boost.
next.
Sweet. And then it is going to be Flopsy's turn after that.
Okay.
'Cause
So
that's-
then, yeah, we'll go. So she'll use her maneuver to run up to the one. Do I cover my? Because I'm playing her. Do I cover my own ass and just focus damage? Actually, I guess statistically that does make the most sense. though.
she would probably run to your aid. It's
It's
Flopsy.
it's
Flopsy
Flopsy.
cares. Flopsy cares.
So we'll do one of these, and it's a medium, and she gets a boost. 1 success, 2 advantage.
Okay,
So,
so
not
total
no
dam-
crits.
Total
but,
damage of...
that one will have a setback die.
Okay.
I have decided.
1 success is... That's a total of 7 damage, right?
Yes.
So it'll only take 1 of that,
Yeah,
but still
base
take
6.
some. And... then it'll be their turn. The one that is engaged right there will have a harder time doing it and have a setback die on it, but it's going to try and shoot her because it's the one that is right next
Try
to her.
it.
Okay.
Oh.
That's interesting. I have a book too.
Omega
It misses. It misses, but it's not an Omega fail.
Ah.
It triumphantly misses.
Oh, interesting.
So,
How does that work?
there we go. Spending one of those.
It basically counts as. Oh, you can also you can do lots of nasty stuff.
It's going to gain a melee defense.
Okay.
So it's going to be harder for her to hit it on your next turn. As it kind of blasts wildly towards her. The other one is going to come around the other way,
Around the outside.
following along behind her, and it's going to take a shot at you.
Okay.
Which will be a this and a this against that. And that is 2 success, 1 threat.
Okay.
So before your soak, that's going to be 11 damage.
Oof. I don't have a lot of soak. Wait, why do I only have 1 soak?
You should have the 1 soak from your gear and then 2 from your bow,
Oh.
probably. So it's probably a total of 3 soaks. You'll take 8 from your wound threshold.
Okay, that is still a lot for me. So 8, that leaves me at 4 wounds.
But you do have a threat to speak.
I do have a threat.
As this thing comes around, it blasts and hits you in the back, and it is a painful, bad injury.
there isn't really any. Wait,
You're all good.
He takes a strain.
He suffers a strain. So you guys have killed one of them, and you're now in a position where you're right up next to one fighting it, and he's just behind you helping fight it, but there's another one behind him that just shot him in the back for a pretty bad wound. So there's the one that you're still right up next to that's pretty badly hurt, that you guys have been brawling with, and the other
Okay.
fresh one that's behind you guys.
Cool, so sorry. I
You're fine.
had a cough really bad.
You're
So-
all good.
Okay.
You're all good.
Yep. So you want to whack it with your stick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Swing the sword. So it'll be the same, 2 difficulty, but she will have a setback die on it because he has a melee defense against her.
4 success, 2 threat, 1 triumph.
Okay. Well, the
So-
4 success should be a total of enough damage, I think, right?
That's a
Because
10.
that's going to be 10 damage with that. So you kill it. You have a triumph to spend, and I have some threat to
Yeah,
spend.
2 threat. So with a triumph, You can upgrade the difficulty of... Oh, it's the targeted character, so that won't help. You can upgrade an allied character's next check. You can do any of these. I think the best thing you can do is upgrade my next check, because I'll have a better chance of shooting it.
I'll upgrade your next check.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The dice are on fire. And so am I.
So you are going to turn and shoot the other one.
No, she whacked him.
She whacked and killed the one that's right
next.
next
So
to
now
you
it's
guys.
the droid's.
So now it's their turn. Yes. And it is going to...
Wait, did we mess up initiative? Was it my turn, not her turn?
I don't know.
Did the droid just shot you, so yeah, it was your turn.
Oh.
Well, you guys can flip order,
Okay,
that's fine.
yeah.
So it is your turn.
Okay.
So you'll have a chance to shoot this thing before it tries to shoot you.
Hey.
It does get a blue on its next from that 2 threat, so
Gotcha.
could be worthwhile to hurt
But
it.
I get to upgrade one of my dice. So, okay. And then I can use my maneuver to aim.
Mm-hmm.
Heh. 2 success.
Total damage?
Total damage of 8.
8.
So
So
not enough
take
to
6 away and take 2 of that and go to this number. And then it is its turn, and it is going to shoot at you.
Don't hit me.
Did you have any
Stop.
advantage spin or anything?
Nope. It was just a flat 2 success. It could have been up to 3 success, but it balanced out with the failure.
Well, that's just unlikely. 1 threat for you to spend.
All right.
Most of the dice have nothing on them.
The blank ones are the worst. 1 threat. It takes a strain.
That'll teach it.
Rat. All right.
And then it's technically actually your turn again.
Okay, because
If
we go correct, yeah. So
correcting the order of
Bup, bup,
operations
bup.
there.
And 2 of those, and a boost because I'll aim. Oof. 1 failure, but 3 advantages.
Yeah.
So
So you miss,
I
but-
miss. The advantage is I'll gain a range defense.
Okay. So I'll give it a setback die to shoot at you. And then it goes to Flopsy.
Yeah.
All right. Flopsy, you're gonna
What?
whack him.
Lick him.
Bup, bup, bup. 1 of those.
Roll.
Roll. 2 advantage.
2 advantage. So,
So-
miss but 2 advantage.
You could give it a setback die.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so that's 2
Setback
setback die.
Okay. Alright, then it is its turn. It is going to turn and move back along the hallway that you guys are not in.
Uh-oh.
And you hear it like clank around and get back into that central room.
We should probably follow it.
Okay, yeah.
All right. I'm gonna
Then you're next.
I'm gonna use my maneuver to like get up to the door. and
You
see
get up
what's
to the
going
door,
on.
and this thing has run over to one of the consoles on the machine.
Okay, a fire.
Okay, go ahead and do it.
Hopefully, I don't hit like the console by accident. I can't aim. 3 success. So that's a total of 9.
9 damage, and it will soak that and take that amount. It is still up, but it takes another blast.
All right. Okay, and then I guess it's back to the top of the order.
Is it me?
Yep.
Mhm.
So you can. I think you can run. If she can move.
You guys were near that other door. I think you get up to
Can
it this
I-
turn.
Force
Oh.
the droid
Can
closer
you, like,
to us?
I guess it's only
Like,
push.
grab it?
Or it's move. So I
It's
guess you
move.
could- Is it only? I guess you could do it away. You could like push it away.
But I don't want it to go near the control panel to call
It's
for help.
already on the control panel doing
Right. So
something.
you could like push it away from.
you could try and move it away from the control panel if you'd like.
Oh, yeah.
Go
That's
ahead and
fine.
roll me a force die.
No, white one.
Roll.
2
light
light sides.
So this thing's coming, it's pushing buttons, and then you use the force, and it kind of just floats up in the air and a little ways back away from this thing.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
You did it.
And then it will be its turn.
Will it flail?
I wonder what the force power is to like fucking shove it into a wall.
Later on, you can throw things with force move. Technically, I don't think you're supposed to use force move for like enemies. Like there's other
I
force
see.
push powers to move people around. But because this is a droid, I'm going to say it's an object and you can pick it up.
Oh, okay.
Droid rights.
Droids get no rights here. And that probably won't come back to bite me because you're not going to fight that many droids in this game.
There you go. You're like, this is like the biggest droid fight you're going to
Yeah.
do. So.
And this thing... It is going to... I guess it's going to try and... I can't really, like, resist your force power very well. We'll let it just take a shot back at you. And...
Yeah, shoot a bit. Do it. Fight me.
Yeah,
and
you're soaked
before
with
your soak, that's going to be 10 damage it hits.
So you'll take 4 damage.
Nice.
And go ahead and roll me... This isn't necessarily how this technically works, but we're going to just roll with me making stuff up as I feel like it.
Why not?
Go ahead and roll me an average discipline.
Discipline.
So your discipline is based on your
My
cunning.
discipline.
You don't have any, so cunning.
Discipline.
1, 2, 3, and
Average.
Average.
I don't know if I have a lot of discipline because I'm not.
Nothing? Okay. And then you kind of... This blast hits you and you kind of tuck behind it and you look back. This thing is clomped back to the ground.
Nice.
And as a maneuver is going to move up to that panel again.
No!
Get away
Damn
from
it!
You bastard.
And it seems to like immediately... It's like... It like blasts at you and then moves up and looks like it's going to start finishing whatever it was just doing.
Kill him.
Shoot.
2, 3, 4. Is it still short range?
It is.
Okay. And I can aim this time. Oh, 4 success.
4
So
success.
that's a total of
That
10.
should be enough to finish it off.
Yeah.
As it kind of... It's kind of pushing buttons. And let me roll something just to see if you guys are lucky or not.
He unlocks the door for us.
He unlocks.
That's not lucky.
the door.
That's incredibly unlucky. So this thing goes there, and you see kind of like hits the panel and falls over dead. And I'm not going to make you guys roll a perception check to see that after it hits the panel and slides off, there's a small red light kind of next to some of the controls is on that starts blinking.
Can I go up to it and roll up computers?
Yeah, go for it. Average computers check.
Okay, computer, intelligence. 2 threat.
2 threat. You don't know exactly what it just accidentally finished doing, but you would think that a flashing red light, something like this for this kind of a comm station, you don't know how to turn it off, but you're pretty sure it's a distress beacon.
Okay. Well, shit. Can I roll another computers to try to turn it off? I don't know. I just did, I guess.
Yeah, you don't think you can shut this off from here.
There's another room?
There's something along the other way there.
I'll go poke my head in there and see.
Like kind of running around the other side.
Another blaster.
There's a doorway there that you have like the controls to open from this side. That's like opposite of the front door to this place. If you want to go and push the open button, it'll open for you. You don't have to do any checks for that. And it opens to like another long bridgeway that goes to like the tall tower piece that has like the pinging beacon on it and has like some control panels and stuff in front of it.
I'll check that out and see if there's like off.
Go ahead and give me another average computers check.
Okay, here we go.
Can I start just smashing the panel?
1 success.
Yes, you can. Go ahead. You go ahead and roll me
There you
a
I'm not.
brawl,
Yeah!
and it'll be an easy brawl.
So you got
I'm just smashing.
and easy. There you go.
Okay. So you run up to it. What's your did you roll a computer check?
1 success.
1 success. So you go up there and you're like, turn this. You're like, I can't turn off the distress beacon, but I can turn off the tower. So
Okay.
so it's not sending anything.
Right.
So you kind of deactivate that. And you're like, and then it's like then the panel just goes and turns off in front of you. As you just start bashing shit inside there, and you start smashing until suddenly like the lights and stuff start going out and systems start going out inside of this thing.
Yay. I did it.
Well, that's not going to look suspicious for whoever might be monitoring this, but who's monitoring this? Like, honestly.
Who would be?
Except the antagonist. Okay. We're going to loot for the piece we need.
Okay, you guys can both go ahead and give me a. I think it's just going to be a perception. So there's not like specifically an investigation. I don't believe.
Yeah.
I didn't.
3. an
You
average.
could, yeah.
I get 2 success, 1 threat. Flopsy gets 2 threat.
Flopsy notices it first, the threatening thing. So you kind of go in there, and like the power's kind of intermittently sputtering off and on, and you're like digging around under that kind of underworkings, and you find the complete like a piece that looks like it. You compare, and like, oh, this is it, nice. And then right before you kind of remove it from its little socket in place there, she's standing like kind of looking around. She hears it first, but you kind of hear it quietly second. You hear like Imperial Customs Frigate 913. Respond.
Oh no.
And that's where we're going to stop this particular session right there.
Oh no.
Oh no! I'm gonna go tell Master Noguchi.
As the distress beacon has been picked up by someone, and we'll see what comes of that in the next episode. Thanks for watching, everybody.